The word paper has a fascinating history originating from the ancient world. It is derived from the ancient Greek word papyrus. Papyrus refers to a thick, paper-like material. This material came from the pith of the Cyperus papyrus plant. Ancient Egyptians used papyrus extensively for writing and various other purposes. In ancient Egypt, papyrus was a valuable resource. The production of papyrus sheets was a significant industry. The process involved harvesting the papyrus plant from the banks of the Nile River. The pith of the plant was then sliced into thin strips, layered and pounded together. This created a sheet that was then dried and polished. Papyrus scrolls were created by joining multiple sheets together. Life in ancient Egypt revolved around the Nile River. The river provided sustenance and also gave rise to a unique and valuable resource, papyrus. The papyrus plant thrived in the fertile Nile Delta. It became synonymous with Egyptian culture and intellectual life. The Egyptians used papyrus for a wide range of applications, from sandals and baskets to boats and even paper. However, it was its use as a writing material that truly set papyrus apart. Papyrus, with its smooth surface, provided a more portable and convenient alternative to stone or pottery. The use of papyrus extended far beyond the borders of Egypt. As Egyptian civilization flourished, papyrus became a valuable trade commodity. It was exported to other civilizations around the Mediterranean, including the Greeks, Romans, and Phoenicians. The Greeks and Romans embraced papyrus as a writing material. Papyrus was lighter, more portable, and could be produced in larger quantities. The adoption of papyrus by the Greeks and Romans had a profound impact on the spread of knowledge and culture. It facilitated the dissemination of literature, philosophy, and scientific ideas throughout the ancient world. Papyrus scrolls became the medium through which the works of Homer, Plato, and Virgil were transmitted to wider audiences. Papyrus was used for official documents, legal texts, and correspondence, enabling the Roman government to maintain order and control over its vast territories. Despite the advent of new writing materials, papyrus continued to be used for centuries. It was not until the rise of parchment and later paper that papyrus gradually fell out of favor. The legacy of papyrus extends far beyond its practical use as a writing material. It played a pivotal role in shaping the intellectual and cultural landscape of the ancient world. The survival of countless papyrus documents provides us with invaluable insights into the lives, beliefs, and knowledge of past civilizations. Today, papyrus continues to fascinate and inspire. Modern-day artisans still produce papyrus sheets using traditional methods for artistic purposes or as souvenirs. For centuries, the people of ancient China relied on cumbersome materials like bamboo and bone for writing. These materials were heavy, difficult to transport, and limited the spread of knowledge. But the winds of change were blowing from the east, carrying with them the seeds of a revolution in communication: the invention of paper. The invention of paper, a lightweight and versatile material, would revolutionize the way we communicate and document our world. The year is traditionally attributed to 105 CE, and the credit is often given to Cai Lun, a court official. Cai Lun, an influential figure in the Han court, has long been hailed as the inventor of paper. His biography describes his method of creating sheets from a mixture of plant fibers, including mulberry bark, hemp, and old fishing nets. While Cai Lun played a significant role in the development of papermaking, recent findings suggest that paper existed in China even before his time. In 2006, fragments of paper dating back to the 2nd century BCE were unearthed in Gansu province. These discoveries indicate that Cai Lun may not have been the sole inventor of paper, but rather a key figure who refined and standardized existing techniques. His meticulous documentation and promotion of papermaking techniques within the imperial court led to its widespread adoption throughout China. The invention of paper relied on a clever combination of existing technologies and innovative thinking. Early papermakers used materials like the bark of the paper mulberry tree, hemp fibers, and old rags. These materials were soaked, pounded into a pulp, and spread onto a fine mesh screen. The water drained, leaving a thin layer of fibers. The sheet was pressed and dried in the sun. The result was a durable, flexible writing surface, lighter than bamboo or silk. The invention of paper had a profound impact on Chinese society, far beyond its initial use as a writing material. Its lightweight and portable nature made it ideal for a wide range of applications, from wrapping delicate objects to creating lanterns and kites. Paper quickly became an indispensable tool for government administration, replacing bulky bamboo strips for official documents, records, and maps. The Han Dynasty readily adopted paper for its record-keeping systems, facilitating communication and governance across its vast empire. One of the most remarkable early uses of paper in China was for wrapping and preserving tea leaves. During the Tang Dynasty, tea became a highly prized commodity, and paper's ability to protect its delicate aroma and flavor made it an ideal packaging material. As the Islamic Empire expanded during the 7th and 8th centuries, it encountered a treasure trove of knowledge and innovations from the East. Among these was the art of papermaking, which the Arabs quickly recognized as a valuable asset. The first paper mills in the Islamic world were established in Central Asia, with Baghdad emerging as a major center for paper production. The Arabs adapted Chinese techniques using readily available materials like flax and hemp to create high-quality paper. The Islamic world's thirst for knowledge fueled the demand for paper. Paper became instrumental in the flourishing of Islamic scholarship, science, and literature during this period. From Baghdad to Europe, the transmission of knowledge. The Islamic world's mastery of papermaking did not remain confined to its borders. Through trade and cultural exchange, the knowledge of paper production gradually made its way west, reaching Europe by the 12th century. The first European paper mills were established in Spain and Italy, regions with close ties to the Islamic world. European papermakers initially adopted Islamic techniques, but they also began to experiment with their own innovations. The introduction of paper to Europe had a profound impact on the continent's intellectual and cultural development. Paper, being more affordable and readily available than parchment, democratized access to knowledge. European papermakers adopted Islamic techniques and sought ways to improve efficiency. They adapted watermills to power paper mills. Water wheels provided reliable energy for paper production. This mechanized steps from pulping fibers to pounding rags into pulp. Production capacity increased, reducing paper costs. New techniques for creating watermarks were developed. Watermarks served as trademarks and quality indicators. These innovations established European papermaking as a thriving industry. The arrival of papermaking in Europe marked a turning point in the continent's history. It wasn't merely a new technology, it was a catalyst for profound social, intellectual, and cultural transformations. As paper mills sprung up across Europe, access to this versatile material expanded rapidly. No longer the exclusive domain of wealthy monasteries and powerful institutions, paper became available to a much wider segment of society. This newfound accessibility had a democratizing effect on knowledge. Scholars, scribes, and artists embraced paper, finding it a more practical and affordable alternative to parchment. The stage was set for a revolution in communication and the dissemination of knowledge, the invention of the printing press. The invention of the printing press unleashed an unprecedented demand for paper. What was once handcrafted was now needed in vast quantities. European papermakers rose to the challenge with innovation. The Hollander beater revolutionized the pulping process. This allowed for the mass production of paper. For centuries, the primary source of fiber for papermaking had been recycled rags. However, the demand for paper in the 19th century, fueled by rising literacy rates and the growth of the printing industry, far outstripped the supply of rags. Papermakers began to explore alternative sources of fiber. Wood, a plentiful and renewable resource, emerged as a promising candidate. The The challenge lay in developing methods to efficiently break down wood into a pulp suitable for paper making. In the mid-19th century, several inventors and entrepreneurs developed processes for mechanically and chemically pulping wood. These breakthroughs marked a turning point in the history of papermaking. Wood pulp paper was initially considered inferior to rag paper, but its lower cost and abundance made it a viable alternative. The 20th century witnessed an explosion in paper consumption. The rise of mass media, the growth of education and literacy, and the expansion of global trade and commerce all fueled the demand for paper products. Paper became an integral part of modern life, used for everything from newspapers and books to packaging, hygiene products, and building materials. The paper industry responded to this insatiable demand with relentless innovation. Large-scale, highly mechanized paper mills sprang up around the world, churning out vast quantities of paper to meet the needs of a rapidly changing world. New technologies, such as the continuous process pulping machine, further increased efficiency and production capacity. The industry faces the challenge of balancing the demand for paper with the need for sustainable practices and responsible forest management. While paper's primary role as a writing surface is undeniable, its versatility has led to a surprising array of applications throughout history. From the mundane to the unexpected, paper has woven itself into the fabric of human ingenuity and cultural practices. In ancient China, delicate bronze mirrors were carefully packaged using layers of soft, cushioning paper. This practice highlights paper's early use as a protective and absorbent material. The Chinese also recognized paper's hygienic properties. As early as the 6th century, paper was being used as toilet paper, predating its widespread adoption in the West by centuries. Paper's absorbent nature also made it ideal for preserving the flavor and aroma of tea, with paper bags used to store precious tea leaves during the Tang dynasty. The concept of money has evolved significantly, from bartering systems to precious metals, and eventually to paper currency. Paper, with its portability and ease of printing, revolutionized value representation. In ancient China, various forms of commodity money were used, such as shells, beads, and tools. The Song dynasty introduced true paper money, known as jiaozi and huizi. These early banknotes facilitated trade, eliminating the need to transport heavy coins. China's invention of paper money predated Europe's by centuries, with Europe adopting it in the 17th century. Paper's significance extends beyond the tangible and practical. In many cultures, paper plays a symbolic role in rituals, especially related to death. In ancient China, paper had a spiritual dimension. Burning paper offerings was a way to communicate with spirits, providing them comforts in the afterlife. A well-known example is the burning of joss paper or ghost money. These paper replicas are burned as offerings to ancestors and deities. The smoke carries these offerings to the spirit world. In Japan, paper lanterns are released during Obon, guiding spirits back to the living. From its humble beginnings as papyrus in ancient Egypt to its ubiquitous presence in the modern world, paper's journey is a testament to human ingenuity. The invention of true paper in China revolutionized communication. Paper making spread from east to west, transforming societies and fueling intellectual revolutions. In Europe, paper's arrival coincided with the Renaissance, aiding the birth of the printing press. The Industrial Revolution brought mass production, making paper integral to everyday life. While the digital age offers new communication forms, paper continues to adapt and find new expressions. Its legacy lies in both practical applications and symbolic significance. From ritualistic uses to the art of origami, paper embodies cultural beliefs and creativity. As we face modern challenges, paper will continue to inspire future generations.